and welcome to Craic News. Today we have Charlotte T, a dynamic duo, and Max Roddy. How are we doing?
We're sort of an unexpected duo. We sort of became a duo. I don't know how, but we sort of became sort of Dumb and Dumber on the way home.
So you were on your way to the podcast. You came from, did you start off in Omagh?
I went from Omagh
to pick up
Derry.
Max in Derry.
Yeah.
And then you get lost in
Belfast.
Just in Belfast.
And like when she came from Omagh to Derry, everything was really sparkly for her because she's a farm girl.
Okay, we'll get stuck into a couple of news stories before we promote. You have an upcoming show coming up.
Yes, it's my second solo show,
Nice.
and it's coming to St Columb's Hall in Derry, so I'm buzzing for that. It's my second.
Second one already. So you've been doing comedy about what, like
I'm only
5
full
minutes?
time, like 11 months, and I'm doing my second solo show. Like I think people were shocked last year. My fifth ever gig was a solo show in the Waterside Theatre, and I was actually shocked myself because I ended up getting 170 in, and I was for my first go at it. I was buzzing with that.
That's
Class. That's amazing. At first, I mean, I've been doing it for 2 years. I think last night we got 6, and I was celebrating. I was like, six people.
I'm only full time 10 months, and it's just like sort of straight
Yeah.
in. But I sort of took a break from performing. I just went, let's go in the deep end and let's go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice one. We'll get stuck into some news stories, and we'll go back to that in a wee second.
No problem.
I want to talk about just briefly. Have you seen this thing on news about Minecraft?
Yes.
So you have a son, yeah?
Yeah.
And you went to see Minecraft,
We did it last night. It was brilliant.
but you said it was quite tame in the cinema.
It was very tame in the cinema because it was a lot of parents. It was an early showing, so it was
early
7
showing,
o'clock.
okay.
So I'd say if you'd went an hour or two later with loads of preteens, because
Yeah,
my
'cause-
son was threatening whatever that thing is that they're doing. to
Chicken
do that
jockey?
to me before we went out. He goes, "I'm going to do it." I was like, "Please don't." do
Someone
this."
brought a live chicken
Nobody did it.
into the cinema.
I've heard that. I read
And
that
threw
online.
it up in the air.
Crazy. Man. Like,
Too many parents there when I was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
it
so
literally
whatever
looks like they've had about 27 Mars bars before they went on this, and they're just bouncing about the place. And Jack Black just probably brings that out on him. 'Cause he's a bit
Jack
crazy.
Black, I was saying this about the road. Jack Black can get away with just being himself in every
Oh
film.
yeah, I know. So you're in the same. It was the same role in Jumanji.
Yeah.
Did you see
Aye,
Jumanji?
like,
Yeah.
I was literally thinking that.
The last 3 minutes of Minecraft is just basically School of Rock.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I was going to ask you guys: have you ever like in one of those people that messed about in the cinema or get into trouble when you were kids?
I was a definite nightmare in school, just a nightmare. Like the time I actually came in to drama, we went to like an all-girls school to do the drama.
Yeah.
I was there one day, and there was a prop in the girls' school. And it was a real gun. It looked completely real, and I decided to steal it from the prop room and took it back to my school in Craic in Derry, which would be known as sort of a Republican area.
Yeah.
And I was running around the school.
That's like a proper Alec Baldwin situation right there.
I was running.
But only in Derry.
I was running around this Craigan estate with this gun pointed in children's faces.
What?
But I was, and the teacher seen it and she thought it was a pellet gun or whatever, but it was just a really good prop, so I was instructed to leave it in the sixth form. So I left it in the sixth form, but I didn't tell the teacher. I don't know why that I was leaving this prop gun there. And next thing I know, there's pandemonium in school. The teacher from the sixth form was running, "There's a gun! There's a gun! There's a gun!" And she ran up to reception, and like people highly believed that I was part of the IRA movement. My dad, like he was called to school hundreds of times.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah.
went like,
It's loads of
I
guns.
don't believe my son, who was doing Joseph the Musical there 4 weeks ago, was in the IRA. So there was the one time my dad actually stuck up for me.
Derry's first school shooter. So we're going to move on to our second wee story. Did you see that Katy Perry went to space? It did look like that's what it feels like to be a sperm.
Yeah.
They were sitting in a head of a penis. Well, I suppose they sit in the testicles. But like, so what did you think? She came down. They were up there for about 11 minutes. She came down and kissed the ground.
Was it not like remote controlled or something? They basically want to say the plane, did they not?
No, think about it. See, I thought everyone was giving them grief.
Yeah.
And then I seen images, but they were all floating in space. You could see the Earth behind them and stuff. I was like, that is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Get to get out and float.
No, Charlotte, no.
Float away. Oh, shit.
It's like they pull off their seatbelt and float for a bit.
Just swimming around for 11 minutes in space.
Spacewalk over the top of the fucking craft. No.
Katy Perry, as an artist, is like if ever going to be associated with space and a big phallic-shaped dildo, as Charlotte said. If you were to pick one vehicle to be on your poster, like what do you think matches? Because Max Roddy sounds like
That stage name, like I don't know if you know this, James. My name isn't Max.
What? Don't spoil it! Oh my god, I didn't know.
I did a character in 2017, and my real name is Eugene.
Okay.
Max Roddy PT was a sketch that got like 500,000 views, and it just went boom, and everybody started calling me Max, and I was like, if you're going to see a stand-up comedian,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Eugene Roddy doesn't sound like a sellout name, but Max Roddy sounds like, no, I could walk in with a suit or something.
Yeah, I think he'd be like Burgess. I could picture like Max Roddy.
I like a fat James
I
Bond.
like a lumberjack type. lumberjack type.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it sounds better. Even Carrie, my fiance, didn't know I was called Eugene for the first 6 weeks we were together. She heard my mum say my name. She's like, "Is your name not Max?" And I was
Did you tell her your name is Max for 6 months?
not Charlotte, my partner.
And it's even worse.
Did you know I was Eugene?
I'd known you for about 6 months before I knew you were called Eugene.
It's a name I'm trying to bury in the past.
Usually people like sort of bluff about their ages for a while. You've been telling this person for 6 months. You've a different identity.
If Elton John, he's not
he's
called
called
Elton
Eugene,
John.
isn't he? He's called Eugene.
His name's changed.
What was his name?
I don't know, but I just know he changed his name because it sounds sexier. Elton John's far sexier. Like, do you know
it's the syllables, isn't it? Max is one syllable.
It's Max Roddy.
Max Roddy.
My second name isn't T either, like, so.
I was going to say it on it. I was going to say, because it's spelled T-E-E.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was Charlotte T, like Charlotte just with the letter T. And then when I seen it was T-E-E, I was like, oh, it is your real name?
It's not.
Is that the stage name as well, isn't it?
You're going to tell us what it is? Or are you going to...
Turnbull.
Turnball?
Yeah.
That's what I do all the time when I'm checking for lumps.
That's what you're doing. You're turning the ball.
Turnbull sounds like a principal, doesn't it?
A lot of people change it because they have jobs, but they don't want people to know.
Kind of. I have a brother. I don't want people to know.
You don't want people to know you have your brother, or you don't want your brother to know you do comedy?
No, he knows.
Oh, he
but,
knows.
He'd probably prefer we weren't connected.
Okay, fair enough. It's turning into a Jerry Springer podcast here.
It was just quite simple for me. I just thought it sounded better, and it just stuck with the character I did, so I just kept the name.
It's fine, by the way. My brother's in the Caribbean, so we can totally...
But that sounds like a really good duo. They're like Charlotte T and Max Roddy. It sounds like a Justice League superhero. Only they're long.
Just the adventures of Max and Charlotte T. Yeah. I think it could work.
Well, let's move on to our last. Well, it's not really a story. I just wanted to ask you guys some stuff about upcoming stuff. Charlotte, you've been doing. Are you still doing boxing?
I am. I only want to actually off there from the back, but I'm back at boxing again. I've been taking on a lot of like trainees and new people.
You've been fighting them or training them?
Like helping them to
Both.
get them settled.
Oh, really? Very, very good. And do you do sports too?
I was a goalkeeper for 4 or 5 years, and then I found alcohol and just gave up on that and put on like 4 stone. But I was a decent goalkeeper.
Oh, nice.
And I loved golf as well.
Hey, Rory McIlroy. So did you watch it?
Like, I just have to say this, like, the guy is from like Hollywood and Northern Ireland, but yeah, I was going up the back ninth there. The accent, man, is ridiculous.
But I'm so bad. I'll do that too, but not in America. Like, see, I went to the Gaeltacht for 3 weeks. See, by the end, like, I had a pure Donegal accent, and then I was like, well, maybe this isn't a Donegal accent. But we were all sitting around the table being like, go Malashkil, and then like, we would go home, and my man was like, come on, you were away for 3 weeks. Like, you know what I mean?
My sister lives in America now, but when she'd only been living there for a few months, she was coming back all, hey.
Yeah, exactly. And then
God.
I went to the States when I was playing football as well. Like when I was really, really young. I was one of those Catholic Protestant. For some reason. Yeah. By the end of the 3rd week, I was the same. I was like, the owner owned like a big gaming studio, so we were in there every day, and you heard them all in the headphones. So we were all like, "Come on, shoot!" I was adopting the American mentality as well. So.
Building bridges across the water. Just melting over here, by the way. I'm just really
I forgot. Let me turn off
the heater's on, and we're after walking 6 mile. I'm like, this is not good for my BMI, or is it?
I'm going to Krispy Kreme for the 6 mile back.
I'm just, that boy from Derry went up to Belfast and just sweated on a podcast. Fuck's sake.
I'm going to make the, what do you call that, the image for the podcast is zoomed in on your face.
Just me struggling for breath.
One beat of sweat on his forehead.
Fuck's sake. Like.
Okay, so we'll end stuff here. I want to hear about this. You've got an up-and-coming work in progress in the Boiler Room.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm absolutely honoured. I approached Ro about that, and I know the Boiler Room. I've done a performance on there last year. I was only on for 7 minutes. It went quite well.
Oh, class.
Was me sick for 7th gig, and I was so buzzing that Ro accepted. Like, he seen me perform in the Millennium Forum. Hardly. Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, I was surprised he said aye. Oh, come on. Come on. I was surprised he said aye, but he has...
I didn't issue for your brown. There we went, I thought.
Oh, fuck off. I was just actually surprised he said aye, if I'm honest, and I was grateful he said aye, but he seen me perform in the Millennium...
Stop. Only joking.
He's seen me perform in the Millennium Forum, so he has seen me do a big gig.
Okay, cool.
So I was just like buzzing to get in the Boiler Room.
And it's quite small, the Boiler Room, isn't it?
It's like 50 capacity.
So are you sweating as much in the Boiler Room when you're doing comedy?
Definitely not. Oh, no. This is about an hour and they stand up. Normally it shows you how much of a wild goose chase I've been on.
And what date is that?
That is the 12th of June, the Boiler Room, work in progress. It's about 3 weeks out from St. Colum's Hall. So
great. And then the date for St. Colum's Hall is?
The St. Colum's Hall is the 5th of July this year.
Okay, and where can people get tickets?
Tickets are on St. Colum's Hall website, and there's links in my TikTok, my Instagram and Facebook. The links are just below.
Nice. Okay, that sounds amazing. The class, I'll try and make it down. And Charlotte, have you got any fights coming up or any comedy gigs coming up?
Well, you're slagging me about being a brown nose anyway, so...
I have a few sneaky things come up, can't talk a lot about
We'll say nothing.
Well, thank you very much, Charlotte T, for coming on. Max Roddy, can't wait to see your solo show.
Thank you.
And thanks very much for coming on the Craic News.
Woo!